was very honored and humbled, and immediately responded that it would be my honor and pleasure. And the opportunity to speak on his behalf today means more to me probably than it does to him, just because he's such a special young man. And so I've known Noah now since he was an 8th grader. And first let me say, the Ostrander family is a remarkable group of people. I don't know if they're a family so much as a tribe. I don't know how many kids you have to have before you kind of ascend into tribe status. But, I will say, Noah, you have a very special place in my heart, but I don't really know if you're my favorite Ostrander. I think that might be Hammer and Hank. I'm telling you, Hank. But, I see Hank up there with his buffalo cap on, like Davy Crockett with buffalo horns. But that's basically my first impression of like you were like a little wild man the first time I met you. You weren't quite as big as you are now, and you had long flowing hair. And I just remember you coming out to spring practice as a rising 9th grader at Satellite, and just physically demolishing like everybody in your path with your long hair. You meet a lot of football players that are, they kind of have that natural just it factor and meanness, and it doesn't really matter what they bench or squat. They just really want to whip people, and that's kind of how Noah was. And then he eventually got stronger along the way too. But so he was like a little wild man when I first met him, and but off the field he was a pretty quiet, like humble dude. Not really the same personality that you expect from somebody that just kind of physically whips people all day. So anyway, he's a quiet guy. We get into that season as a freshman, and up to that point, that was the 9th year of my coaching career. And you were the second freshman that I've had become a starter. Usually in the higher classifications, you just don't see it very much. And we were a 6A, 5A, 6A program at Satellite, and not only did he end up becoming a starter as a freshman, but something very special happened that year. We made it to the first regional final in football in the program's history. We had to beat Bishop Warren, who I know we're all familiar with in the second round of playoffs, who was definitely not playing for their first regional final. So they had all the tradition and reputation, and we went out and had a great win that night, and our leading pancake guy was our freshman left guard. That says everything about you as a football player. Fast forward to your junior year, you're here at MCC. Kind of part of a new group of coaches. A wave of players came in, and to go from 2-8 to district champ, regional finalist, and then to finish up with a second district championship this year. I had to actually look it up, but the record that we kind of shared together, Noah, is 27-9, 2 district championships, 2 regional finals at 2 different schools. But as time goes on, like that won't be really what I remember you by. I remember you as a good football player for sure. But I'm going to read a quote, and I had to make sure to write it down so I don't get it wrong. I walk by it every day in the Aquinas building. It's that banner that kind of hangs up there in the middle. It's a quote from St. Francis of Assisi. And there's so much life lessons, that we get from St. Francis, and sometimes I regret that we walk by the sign so much and we say the prayer so much that we start to become a little numb to it. So I wanted to make sure I wrote this down and read it out loud. It is no use walking anywhere to preach unless our walking is our preaching. That is how I would summarize you as a person. The lines from the peace prayer that we say so much. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, for it is in giving that we receive. Like, that's how I would describe Noah Ostrander as a person. Since I've met him, I've seen his stock rise, I've seen his reputation rise, I've seen him go from that little wild man that really didn't talk to people and a homeschooler to getting interviews on TV like he's a seasoned, or the different streaming, whatever, like he's a seasoned pro. to captaining a football team, to 2 straight district championships, to playing both sides of the ball, never getting tired, like just the guy that's needed at all times. Never brings attention on himself. In an aging generation where, like, with social media and everything else, it's just so me, look at me, what have you done for me? And I say this sometimes to my different classes, but that peace prayer from St. Francis, I feel like gives us a roadmap to happiness. And sometimes that roadmap is to stop focusing on yourself for a moment and see what kind of impact you can make to those around you. You know, whether it's your teammates, your classmates, your community that you live in, whatever the case may be. And, you know, no, I don't know if you think of it that deep, or you're just a naturally good person that was raised by a great family. But, you know, to see you go from homeschool to being on this campus, not just doing well academically, to start playing other sports, but to also just be a well-loved member of the campus. I've enjoyed that as much as anything you've done on the football field. Because it's nice to see a truly great person be known by a lot more people. And I can't wait to see what you do at Harding University. I have no doubt that your football will be successful, but more importantly, I have no doubt that you will become a very successful man and continue to impact those around you in a positive manner. So I just want to say thank you one more time to you for having me come up here. I want to say thank you to the Ostrander family. For just everything, for raising a phenomenal young man, and just, you know, being the people that you are, and thank you to our whole entire football team. You know, it's been such a positive experience for me coaching here. Noah's a big part of that, but it's really been a whole experience. So I just want to say thank you again. It was my honor and pleasure to be up here. I can't wait to see what you achieve. I think the sky is the limit for you, and you can do, your life can be as grand as you want it. So, one more time for Noah Ostrander.
Thank you, Coach. And now for Justin Woolard, who will run track and field at Florida State University. I invite Coach